Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review. Today I'm taking a look at the truly awesome looking KO of the Planet X Caelus, their version of Swoop. When I say awesome looking, unfortunately that's about as far as this figure goes. He looks fantastic on display, he really does. He scales well with all of your kind of Voyager scale figures, but he is plagued with problems. Let's take a closer look at him. Straight from the get-go you can see that his plastic is a very thin plastic. His legs are very hollow. His joints are pretty much just screws, and his backpack makes him incredibly back heavy. The heel spurs just aren't man enough to keep his weight up. The articulation does lack somewhat. It's unfortunately they've kind of got rid of all of the good bits that made the Planet X figure good. Let's just take a look at what articulation is left. Starting off with the head, we have an up and down movement. I initially thought there was a ball under there, but no, that's just a glued peg, so you can look up and down. There's no left and right motion whatsoever. We'll come over to the arms. The arms move up, out and round. They have a bend at the elbow. No swivel, no pivot there. There's a slide on the wrist, so the wrist can slide in, but he's got really big monkey arm syndrome there. If they would have kept the upper bicep swivel there, it would have got rid of this whole monkey arm. Granted, then his hand would have needed a swivel, I guess, but yeah, there's nothing on the waist. A nice range of movement on the thigh. Kind of comes out there, forward and back quite nicely. There's an upper thigh swivel. Kind of a double jointed knee. Yeah, there's a double jointed knee there. You've got up and down movement on the foot. And you've got wings that actually flap. They've got very loose joints on the wings here, where they peg in. They do bend there and again at the tip. And unfortunately, that is his articulation. He really doesn't want to stand up. I mean, if I could take his backpack off, then that'd defeat the whole object of him being Swoop, wouldn't it? And you would, as you may notice, I've only got one sword. The other sword is here, but the bottom of the sword is in here. Yeah, that ain't going to come out. I literally popped the sword in. I thought, oh, that feels a bit tight. This one went in nicely. I mean, it's still a fairly tightish fit, and you're going to get some paint rubbing on the sword. But done the same with this hand. Thought, oh, that seems a bit tight, and then I pulled the sword, and the end stayed in there. And it's made from the kind of thin plastic. Yeah, that's a shame. That is a shame. But well, at least I did it, and you didn't have to. Yes. He does transform. First step, and there isn't a lot of clearance when rotating the wings, so I just generally pop the backpack section off. It's just held on by two pegs. You want both the wings to be round this way, so these two sections are at the top. We can then come back and we can put that back on again like so. And you're going to want to slide this fist. It's on a slider, so slide that in like so. You can then put the faceplate up and tilt the head back. If we come to the feet, let's move these arms out of the way. You want to rotate the leg around like so, and then using the double jointed knees, bring this section all the way up, and there's a peg just on the foot. That's going to peg into the chest area. Let's do the same with this one. You want to rotate the upper thigh, using that double jointed knee, bring this foot all the way up, and poke it into the hole on his chest like so. Straighten out those legs, put the kind of pterodactyl feet down, or pterodon, whatever he is. Put the arms down to the side like so, and then fold said wings down. And there is your Swoop. Unfortunately, like his bot mode, he does suffer from some stability issues whilst he's in pterodon mode. The issues being there is no stability. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to stand. The legs that are supposed to support his underside kind of just let him flop down, which is a shame actually, because his beast mode actually does look really quite nice. Yes, nothing kind of fits in properly. The head doesn't actually plug in, it just rests on top of his head. The wings are loose. The backpack is very light. You can visibly see the legs. There's nowhere really to put the arms, but it's a passable dinosaur. You know, you can tell that that's a kind of a prehistoric mashup with the Cybertronian beast, and it does kind of work. It's just very big and somewhat underwhelming. To give you guys an idea of scale, I bring in my good old trusty Springer. He is definitely oversized to the original figure. He's probably a little bit too big to fit in with your Generations figures in his beast mode. But I mean, don't completely rule him out. He's not for me. He doesn't fit in with my collection. But I mean, if you like your Dinobots and you're happy to have a figure that looks really good, and if you want him just for display purposes, then by all means get him. He does look great. I mean, the colours suit him to a T. They're bold. They're almost kind of a shattered glass look, aren't they? They're that lovely purple and greys and silvers, and it does work. He does look really nice in those colours, but I just can't overlook the faults and the flaws, and unfortunately that's the kind of that's the nail in the coffin for me. If you want one for display, then yes, but for me, sorry Swoop, it's back to the Energon graveyard for you. I hope this has been informative, guys. Until next time, for myself and KO Planet X, Caelus, Swoop, thanks for watching, goodbye.